Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the film Yield to the Night from 1956, directed by J.Lee Thompson. So a friend recommended this film, and I love a good old film. I don't watch enough, it's really hard to keep up with the current releases, but I definitely would like to watch more. This was known as The Blonde Sinner in the US, and it stars Diana Dors as a woman, Mary Hilton, who kills in cold blood. She kills the lover of the man that she's in love with. She's in prison, she's isolated under supervision all the time. The light's always on. She's waiting to be hung in this kind of transition period. And the film is about her emotional and psychological journey as she comes to terms with the fact that she's probably going to be hung. The film has a fantastic start. There's an opening sequence which starts in Trafalgar Square with her walking across the square, taking a taxi, and it takes us to the point where she commits the murder in cold blood. The cinematography is really great. There's always really interesting angles. The camera's often looking through things, behind bars. It's claustrophobic. There's no clear space in the film. Also, there's a lot of shots at the level of feet, which I really liked. The film's creative, but it's never showy. And in fact, there's a kind of spareness to it, especially in the prison scenes. Diana Dors is exceptional. This was a big step up for her from her glamorous sex symbol typecast roles. She hadn't been perceived as a serious actor prior to that, but this is an incredible performance. It really feels timeless. It still feels really contemporary, and it conveys the feelings of this difficult situation. So her guilt is never in question. She's facing the death penalty, although there is a prospect that the Home Secretary might give her a reprieve. The prison officers are all really nice to her. They're really compassionate. And the conditions that she's kept in certainly seems to be better than the conditions that we see in prison today. I found the narration a little bit odd. She's in the yard thinking about her past story, and I just thought she wouldn't really narrate the story like she's telling someone else. It was a small quibble. There's a moving scene at the end of the film where Mary goes down on her knees to pray with the vicar, and the two guards go down next to her. I just found this scene quite moving. Mary's in love with someone who's obsessed with another woman, and Mary's been mistreated by him, and I wasn't really clear why she would stay with him, and meanwhile her husband stands by her. It's an interestingly messy story. I guess it might be classified as a crime of passion, but the whole story is quite a sordid one, and it's not diluted to emphasise her innocence or to somehow explain away her crime. Despite this, I did find that the film left me feeling quite unsettled about the death penalty. I mean, I'm absolutely against the death penalty, and I was before seeing this film, but it certainly kind of raised a lot of interesting feelings and issues. Unless she gets the reprieve, she actually is going to be hung, and this is what makes the film so compelling. Although it's very simple, I did find this really engaging. There's a door off her cell that never gets opened during the film, and it has no handle. I think it's the door to the scaffold, it has a real presence. I think there's probably a comment here on how impersonal and mechanical the death penalty really is. It's an interesting journey, the transformation from this beautiful, fashionable woman to a scared, anxious, condemned woman. She almost becomes numb as the day gets nearer. This film probably would have been enjoyable if it had introduced some melodrama and a bit of sentimentality, but it didn't. There was no melodrama. It was quite spare. The set, the acting, there's a restraint in the making of this film. My friend said it reminded him of Bresson, and I agree with this. This is all really effective. It presents these films in a subtle, reflective manner rather than through overt political messages. The film does humanise Mary, but it also reminds us of the woman who she's killed. It does leave a lot of ambiguity in a really good way. I think it does encourage us to reflect on the complexities of justice and whether execution is a reasonable punishment in such cases. As I say, though, for me, I'm clear that it's not. Overall, Yield to the Night is a really compelling portrayal of this journey towards being hung. It's framed within a stark and understated narrative. Diana Dawes' performance is amazing. She sheds her glamorous image to embody this raw emotional depth of a woman who is both guilty and deeply human. It's minimalist, yet offers kind of complex questions on justice and morality, but it doesn't give easy answers. It's a thought-provoking and timeless film. I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.